Okay. What's up, YouTubers and whoever else is listening? I haven't been on here for a while because I've been working and things have gone badly at work. I'm not really sure where to start about this. I've thought about this for days and days and days, and I have no idea where to start. Um, The only place I know to start is, I forgot how long ago it was. I was sitting here in the rock recliner. It was probably last month sometime. What is today? November 19th. It's 5:45, 5:50 at night. Something like that. Uh, okay. First of all, I just want to say I'm doing this to vent, and I don't expect anybody to respond to to this or anything. I'm just doing this to vent because the only person that I have to talk to about this is Jeremy, and Jeremy doesn't believe me. Jeremy's a really nice guy, and Jeremy helps me out a lot, and I'm very grateful for him. I've said that in previous videos and stuff like that, but the fact that he doesn't believe me, it really freaking frustrates me whenever I tell him that I'm in pain, and I feel like somebody's doing this to me, poking and prodding me and putting me in pain, and he doesn't believe me. He doesn't believe in possession. He doesn't believe in the Bible like I do. He doesn't believe in God like I do. He doesn't believe in, like, he hasn't, like, I think he's only gone to church, like, probably a couple of times in his whole life or something. So, it's understandable that he doesn't believe in it, but it makes it really freaking frustrating. Okay. So, I love him to death, but it's really frustrating because, he's the only one. Well, he's not the only one that's been there for me, but whenever I have my breakdowns, he's pretty much the only one that's been there for me. Like, literally, like, standing in front of me, physically in my presence. So, anyway, I don't know where to start. All I know is to start at one day I was sitting here, or one night, I'm not really sure. I have no idea if I've said this or not, but if I put it on video or not, but between the couch and the coffee table, I saw a black shadow person standing or walking. I think it was like, it might have been standing and it might have been walking. I think it was doing both. And ever since then, things have been worse for me. I've been having nightmares. I'm going to get into that later. I've been having scary dreams. I've been having reoccurring dreams. Things have been worse for me. So, I'm thinking that these ghost videos that I've been watching, Sam and Colby, and all of the ghost hunting people, like, they're right. Like, whoever these shadow people are, they are not good people. Because it's been worse for me ever since I saw that thing standing there. I don't know what it was, but I know that it was, like, as tall as, like, an average height person. It wasn't, like, really, really tall. It was, I couldn't see, like, all of it. But anyway, and, I've also seen blue dots, and that's supposed to represent angels. Still seeing those. Okay, let's see. What else have I forgot? What else has been going on with me? I forgot if I told you. I was sitting here watching Cobra Kai one night. Whenever I think it was the new season that came out this year, starting season 6. I was sitting here, and I have a wreath, and it has an eagle on it, on a flag, and it's a red, white, and blue wreath. I think you guys have seen it in one of my previous videos. Well, all of a sudden, the freaking wreath fell down all by itself. I literally sat here and watched it fall down all by itself. I was like, what the stuff happens like that a lot around here, and like there's constant noises and like all sorts of stuff. Okay, let's see what else. Well, I was job hunting for a while, and as you know, I got hired. I got hired at TGI Fridays. I got hired at Jimmy John's, and I got hired at Wendy's. And well, I wasn't working enough hours at Fridays, so so I no longer work there, and I felt like everybody hated me there. And I have no idea who was doing it, but I'm just gonna voice my opinion on this. People who play ghetto music, and when I say ghetto music, it's like, talking about calling people bitches and, freaking cussing all the time and all this stuff, which people, I'm still gonna say, like, I know that he probably hates me and he doesn't want to talk to me, but he was right. People are more intelligent than to have to cuss every other word out of their mouth. Like, I know that I cuss, I get mad and I cuss, and, da-da-da-da-da. Everybody gets mad every once in a while, I would think. But anyway, so I had to listen to, like, this freaking ghetto music, and it was loud as loud could be, and, I felt like everybody hated me there. Not everybody hated me there. There were a couple of people that were nice to me, and I'm very grateful and very thankful for those people. Kelly, Evan, and, Lorena. And Chelsea was nice to me, but I just wasn't making enough money, and, like, I knew that whenever I'm at a job and I feel like freaking breaking down in tears and bawling my eyes out, it's, like, time to go, because, like, I just can't handle it, and it was really stressful. It was really, really fast-paced, and, like, I don't mind fast-paced every once in a while, but, like, and it just wasn't enough hours. Anyway, okay, so I was doing that for a while, and then I was working at Jimmy John's, and it was, like, two totally different worlds. It was, like, Fridays was fast-paced, and everybody was cussing all the time and calling each other bitches, and ghetto music was being played, and, a guy grabbed my ass, and thank God that Cameron took care of it, and I was like, I told people, this is a sensitive subject with me. I was like, and I don't know what to say. And I was being really, really nice to this guy. I was just being myself. His name was Jeff, and he's a customer, and he came in, and I was being really, really nice to him, and he hugged me and grabbed my butt. That's a really sensitive subject to me, and, you're not supposed to do that to people whenever you're at a restaurant. And thank God Cameron said something to him. And he apologized for it, and I was like, well, we're at a restaurant, you're not supposed to do that. He's like an older guy, and I didn't expect that out of an older guy. I expected an older guy to have more manners than that, and to know better than to do that. But evidently he did. Okay, so that happened, and then I got hired at Wendy's, and it seemed like a good job, but everybody was, you know, everything was really like low key and like, you know, and people seemed pretty helpful and things like that. And but then bad stuff happened. And okay, so this is the thing, is this pain inside my body. I am still trying to figure out how to deal with it in a constructive way, and like in a good way and not in a bad way. Um, because sometimes I can go off and be like, like all mad and stuff. Um, but so I was in pain. I was watching a Casper site video, and I was in pain while I was watching his video, and I forgot where in my body, because I'm in pain like all over my body all the time, pretty much. Like it, yeah. I'm gonna get into that later. Anyway, and then I watched Twin Paranormal, and I was in pain while I was watching their video, but like not as much. And so I was really freaking frustrated by it, because, the poking on the inside of my body, it has just been constant negative, 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 negative. It's nothing positive. Like, very rarely is it positive. And a person can only take so much. I am a human being, and I have feelings and emotions, and, there's only so much a person can take. And oh, this is what it was. Okay. Okay, so there's a manager at Wendy's. Her name is Bailey, and she has been really snippy with me, and she has like an attitude with me, and she was like nice to me for like 2 seconds. Like, the 3 times I think I worked with her. And I tried to be really, really nice to her. I tried to, make light of the situation whenever the frosty machine blew up and there was frosty stuff everywhere. And, like, it was literally, like, all over the floor. And, they said that there was, like, smoke coming out of it, and it looked like it was getting ready to explode, so they turned it off. And, like, they had to, like, empty it all out, and there was frosty stuff everywhere. And so I tried to make light of the situation, and I tried to be really, really nice. And there's pain in my teeth. Okay, and I was like, I said something like, oh yeah, the frosty machine just like exploded everywhere, or something like that. Like, I was trying to be really, really nice. Well, she wasn't having any of it. And she just stood up, and then she started talking to somebody else. She didn't even acknowledge that I said anything to her. And I didn't know that she was the boss's daughter. Yeah, whenever I went in after this incident happened, I'm not gonna lie. So I came home, and I vented to Jeremy about it. And Jeremy's a good listener. He's a good listener. He'll listen to anything I have to say. And that's good, because I need that sometimes. And I was like, I swear to God, I said, the next time she is mean to me, I said, I'm going to pull her aside, and I'm going to talk to her about it. I'm going to be like, what is your issue with me? You don't even know me. There's no reason for you to be mean to me, and to have an attitude with me, and to treat me the way that she's treated me. It's not like she was being, like, really, really, really mean. She was just being, Okay, so, like, I forgot. I think, like, something, like, I was just really upset. And I was like, I'm going to go old school on him. I said, the next time somebody's mean to me, I said, I'm going to go old school on him. I said, and I'm not putting up with it. And, I went into what I did whenever this girl in high school was like, every time she'd walk by my locker, she'd shut my locker shut. Every time I would get out of this class, I forgot what class it was, Um, and my locker was on the second floor, and I would walk up to my locker, and there would be profanity written on it, and then she would walk by. I forgot her name, but she would walk by and she would slam my locker shut, so it would take me longer to get my books out of my locker and potentially make me late for class. So finally one day I'd had enough of it, and I was like, I took my books and I slammed them down on the floor, and I said, that's it. I said, as soon as she walks through that door, I freaking grabbed her by her shirt and slammed her up against my locker, and everybody started, like, gathering around there, like, fight, 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 fight. They're like, kick her ass, Heather, kick her ass. And I was like, I'm gonna if she doesn't stop. And I said, are you the one that's been writing profanity on my locker? And I said, I know you're the one that's been slamming my locker shut. I said, the next time that you slam my locker shut, I said, your head is going to be implanted in this locker. And she didn't say anything. She just walked off. And I quoted a line from Dirty Dancing. I wasn't even thinking about it. It just came out of my mouth. And I was like, get out of here. I was like, you're not worth it. I have no idea. It just, like, came out of nowhere. So anyway, that's what I decided to do. I decided to stand up for myself because it didn't seem like anybody else was going to stand up for me. So it was already a bad day. I was already in pain, and I was really frustrated by it, and I went into work, and it was the wrong time to get to work. There was a bazillion people there, and they were busy as hell, and I couldn't focus. I couldn't focus for 1 second because I tried, but I couldn't. And this girl, Kalia, decided to probably test me. Everybody probably wanted to see what I would do. Well, I went old school on her. And I'm the one that got in trouble. She called me a bitch. And I didn't do anything to her. I just walked by her, and I went to get something from the drive-thru area, and she was like, do you know how to say excuse me? And I was like, oh, this is the wrong time to be doing this to me. And I wasn't thinking. I did not have my head on straight. And because I was already frustrated because of the pain I was in. And I was like, yes, I do know how to say excuse me. I know my manners. Do you? And she was like, bitch, I'll take you outside. And I said, you want to go? And that's whenever everybody was like, whoosh. And Sergio walked up to me, and he like got really, really close to me. And he was like, go to the break room for 15 minutes. And Caitlin was like, clock out and go home. I was like, she's the one that called me a bitch. I was like, and I'm the one that's getting sent home? Are you fucking kidding me right now? Oh, I was so mad. So I went to the break room. And I tried to calm down, and they were like, I sat there for a while, and Marcus was in the back drive-thru, and he was like, that's my whatever, and she's pregnant. And I'm like, I didn't know. She should have said something, but her ghetto ass decided to get all up in my grill and be like, And I was like, Marcus, I said, I tried to be nice to her. I was like, I didn't do anything to her. I tried to explain it to her. He wasn't having none of it, but at least he was nice to me about it. And I was like, but then after that, he didn't want to talk to me. I'm like, sorry that, but, I try to be nice to everybody, but I'm learning in this world that doesn't get me anywhere. And also trying to stand up for myself doesn't get me anywhere either. It gets me fired. Yeah, I got fired. Rob said he's the head boss or whatever. I didn't know, and I also told him about Bailey, and he you know what he said? He said, that's my daughter. And I was like, oh shit. And, well, I had to tell him because there's no reason for people to be mean to me whenever they don't even know me. And then she sent me home early one day. Like, I was supposed to stay until 7, and she sent me home at like 5. She gets there at 5 every night. And he said, well, that's just the way she is. She's not going to change. And if I say anything to her, he said, I'm not going to say anything to her because she'll think that I'm taking somebody else's side. I was like, this is business. I was like, people shouldn't be taking this personally. They should be, you know, it should be business. Like, if somebody is doing something wrong to somebody and they don't deserve it, then reprimand them about it. But he wasn't going to do anything about it. I was like, oh my God, like, it just made me not want to be there anymore. So it's probably a good thing that they did fire me. But it would have been a good job because I was getting the hang of everything and I was doing a really good job and, you know, da-da-da-da-da. And, well, like Jeremy said, they lost a really good worker because I'm a really hard worker. I put my all into my job. I go above and beyond what I'm asked to do. Like, if I know what to do, I do it, and I always do whatever people tell me to do. And then after that, so tension was high, and you know, everybody was on edge and all this good stuff. And so I went into the bathroom, and I probably shouldn't have done this because I'm not supposed to use it, but I wasn't clocked in anyway. And that's the thing, is I went to clock in and I couldn't clock in, and it was like, I told people that I couldn't clock in, it was like nobody cared. So then I kept saying something, and then they after that they tried to clock me in several times, and then it just wouldn't clock me in, and so I called Jeremy and I told him from the bathroom, and because I figured that was the best thing to do. And I was like, I don't know what to do. I was like, I can't clock in. Sorry, distraction. Okay, anyway, I can't clock in, and I was like, and I'm back here doing dishes, and they sent me back there to do dishes. And, so I was back there, you know, doing dishes, and da-da-da-da, and then Jeremy was like, well, if you're not clocked in, he was like, don't do anything. You know, it's illegal to work whenever you're not clocked in. So I was like, okay. So I told Caitlin that, and I was getting a soda or something. I forgot what I was doing. I just know I was in the drive-thru, and she didn't say anything, and then she told me to go do dishes, and I was like, okay. So I was gonna go back there and do dishes. I was on my way back there to do dishes. I went to go get a soda, and then all of a sudden she was just like, you can go home. And then the next day I go into work, and I find out that she thought that I was being insubordinate, that I wasn't doing what she told me to do. And I was like, no, I was like, I would never do that. I was like, you've been really nice to me. I was like, I would do what you tell me to do at work, you know, you've been really nice to me. So, she was really nice, but, she told me that, Rob told her to fire me. So, and I asked her, I said, I didn't know that, like, nobody's ever told me this. I should probably know this, but I asked about Kalia. I was like, is Kalia gonna get fired? And he was like, well, we haven't talked to her yet. And this was, like, the next day. I was like, okay. So, she was really nice about it, and, you know, da-da-da-da-da. So, yeah, I got fired because I stood up for myself. I know it was bad timing, and I told her that. I was like, it's just bad timing. I was like, but it didn't seem like anybody cared. It just seems like nobody cares what I'm going through. They just care about themselves and what they're going through, and, you know, so I got fired. So, anyway. So, that's what's been going on with me. Okay. job-wise, and what's been going on in the apartment. Okay, so I decided I was going to keep that job since Rob wasn't going to fire me. But then all of a sudden, he either changed his mind or somebody just decided to fire me or something. I'm not sure what happened, but that's what happened. And, so I was looking for another job, and, I was gonna keep that job and look for another job. Because, you know, I have child support that I have to pay. I've got two $64 child support payments that I have to make, and if I don't make them, I could go to jail. So, you know, I've already made two child support payments. They're partial child support payments, but you know, at least I'm paying on something, and that's all they care about is, you know, as long as you're paying something, you know, then I won't go to jail. So, yeah, like, you know, I know that you have to put up with shit at your work because, you know, everybody has to put up with shit at their work. But it seems like I get the raw end of the deal all the freaking time. And, sometimes I just don't deal with it well. And I don't feel like letting everybody in the whole world walk all over me and treat me like dirt. So, therefore, whenever I stand up for myself, because I don't think anybody else is going to, I look like the bad guy. And I'm at the point where I don't even care if I look like the bad guy anymore or not. I'm just like, I don't care what anybody thinks about me anymore. Sometimes I do, but still, just a little bit. But sometimes I don't. So that's been going on, and, okay. Okay, so next thing. The poking on the inside of my body, I know, it makes me sound like a crazy person. But, I know I've said that several times. Has said that I am married to Steve Airy. Okay. So, a while back, I went to the courthouse here in Evansville, Indiana. Not afraid to tell anybody in the whole world where I live anymore, because everybody, if you watched any of my old videos, you'll know where I live. These are divorce papers, okay? And I got them notarized and everything. This is divorce papers that says Stephen D. Airy. Filed July 27th, 2021. I am not married to Steve Airy. So, whoever is poking the inside of my body saying that I'm married, I have court documents right here proving that I am not married to Steve Airy. Steve Airy is married to Jennifer. He is remarried, and he is married to Jennifer, and he lives in a nice house, and he has a nice vehicle, and he has a better life than me. And I'm jealous. Not gonna lie. Okay. So this is a divorce paper, and this is, I forgot what this is, but, and this is the receipt saying that I paid to have these papers given to me. So if you see right here, it says July 27th, 2021. So whoever is poking me on the inside of my body telling me that I am married to Steve Airy is wrong. These are official divorce papers. We've been divorced since July 27th of 2021. Okay. Okay. Next subject. Uh, okay. Pain. That's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about pain. Pain, physical pain on the inside of my body. Okay. There's been lots of it lately. Lots. And sometimes it's really, really bad. Oh, and I don't have any. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. I don't have any documentation right at the moment, but I went to the hospital a while back, and there's a picture of it on one of my previous videos. I went to Deaconess Hospital and got my vagina checked out again by another doctor. And the results came back that there's nothing wrong with the inside of my vagina. And I'm thinking about going back and asking them for some kind of documentation to say that there's nothing wrong with the inside of my vagina. There's no diseases inside my vagina. There isn't anything wrong. Well, guess what? My vagina still hurts. I know, this is a TMI subject, but I'm going to talk about it anyway because I don't have anybody to talk to about it besides Jeremy. So, what could that possibly be? Well, some might say that it's spiritual. Some might say, I'm not sure what some would say. Honestly, because I've tried to figure out what the heck has been going on inside my body for the last 12 years. Okay, so I was sitting here thinking about it, and I'm not, okay, let me just get this out here right now, is that I am not blaming him, okay? Not blaming him at all, but it is some kind of coincidence or something that I started thinking about it, and I was like, 10 years I've been in pain. 10 years. 10 years is a long time to be in pain. And sometimes it's excruciating. Sometimes not so much. So either somebody's doing this to me, or it's spiritual, and that's a somebody too. Whether it's an evil entity, whether it's a godly spirit, like an angel, or it's just an evil person. Because I've been to 3 doctors now. And one of them said that I had fibroids on the inside of my vagina. The next person said that there wasn't anything wrong with my vagina. And then Deaconess Women's Hospital said that there wasn't anything wrong with my vagina. So there's 2 hospitals that have said that there isn't anything wrong with my vagina, and they've done both. They've done the thing where they stick the thing that looks like a dildo up inside you and whirl it around, and they've done the outside sonogram stuff, and they've both said that there's nothing wrong with my vagina. Okay,